say? What would you say is the greatest console ever?
Genesis, Dreamcast. I will stand by that till I die.
I'm with you on that.
Dreamcast or PS2, actually.
Got
you. They were both very ahead of their times.
Right.
With them, even the PS2. I'll talk about Dreamcast on this topic first, though. Right. Dreamcast was trying to do online multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
Before anybody had thought of it, and then PS2 had it for a little bit. Yeah. And it just wasn't super reliable, and you can only do it with like 2 or 3 games.
Right.
There's probably more, 2 or 3 that I've like personally found and tried.
Right.
And the popularity of those 2 consoles, I think, is what was the best thing about them.
Right. I agree. Dreamcast was no joke, man.
And the fact that there's people still making Dreamcast games.
Oh, really? Now, see,
I'm not kidding.
See, look, I got 4 of them upstairs right now. I'll go fire it up right now. But it's funny though. I remember my first time seeing a Dreamcast game, and I was just like, "What the fuck am I watching right now?" It was at the store Babbage's in the mall, and I walked in the NFL 2K game was on. I'm just like, "Yo, like you can." That was the first game for me where you actually saw, like a flat, shiny surface or a shiny surface show light, you know what I'm saying, that was actually moving and the walking just seemed realistic. And I was like, what the fuck is this right here? Yeah, like, it was so far ahead of PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it was. They took 3D rendering to a whole new level, which at the time, when that console came out,
98.
Yeah, 1998, and survived into the early 2000s.
Yeah,
which is a good lifespan.
Yeah,
considering
I think they stopped making games from 2003.
Yeah, again, early 2000s it died out, but that's also because they were releasing new systems and
man,
PS2 dropped and PS2 just took off.
And PS2. Y'all kind of cheated too, man. Y'all had a fucking, y'all had a fucking DVD player to go with the game. Yeah. Like, who could compete with that?
At the time, that's why I've ranked those 2 at a similar level.
Yeah,
because,
me too.
Sony did that. Sony was the first person to put a DVD player in their console.
Right.
And then the 360 and PS3 came out, and then PS3 was all on Blu-ray, which is why people really didn't want to buy it, because it was so fucking expensive.
I remember hearing that too.
It was like $600 when it dropped.
I remember hearing that. I'm like, Blu-ray? What the fuck is a Blu-ray disc? At the time, that was nothing nobody ever even heard of.
I'm pretty sure it was out right before the PS3.
Damn.
And it wasn't out long. And then PS3 took that technology, used it, because the discs are really nice.
Yeah,
and that's the standard now. It was either going to be that or HD TV or HD DVD. Blu-ray and HD DVD fought with each other.
Right. That's funny. I remember loving Dreamcast for one because that was the first console I had that had 4 players, and I was just like, yo, we could play on teams and play each other. And this is another thing too. Dreamcast was the first gaming system that actually had fast motion in sports games. You know how you might play a game day or NBA Live on PlayStation, and it just wasn't quite like human movement. Mm-hmm. Like Dreamcast was just like, if you cross somebody up, it's boom boom, like they back and forth. Or in football, you can spin move, dip, hurdle, and I'm like, what? And it was real speed though, I remember playing Madden and just being so frustrated playing Madden. It's like you catch the ball and then it was like that stutter step poke. Finally take off running, you know what I'm saying? Slow motion and then you just finally take off running.
All the movement in the older consoles felt so boxy.
Right.
It was left, right, forward, and backwards. There wasn't diagonal and curving. Right. It was just across. Right. And that was your movement pattern.
That's so crazy. I remember playing, it was called a generator, and it was a generator disc. It had it was the first Tony Hawk on there or whatever, And then they brought it out also on PlayStation. I was like, man, this is leaps and bounds over PlayStation. It's not even close. And even some of those games were competing with PS2 as far as how they look. I remember when they put NBA 2K2, I swear to God, to this day, I swear to God, I feel like I'm the greatest 2K2 player ever. I tell my brother this all the time. Why don't you play 2K15? Why did you play? Man, no.
It's not the same.
I'm not playing that shit. Like, I don't want to play it. Like, 2K is my shit. Like, it wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. Like, it looked so real. I remember first time seeing the court, and as you're running up and down the court, you can see the lights. And I was just like, man. Dunk contest. You know what I'm saying? Practice mode, street mode. Like, what? All this stuff was innovative.
You said your top game.
2K2 is one of them. That's to me, I feel like I'm the greatest 2K2 player ever. I feel like that. I've never lost.
We need a tournament here in Cape then.
We need.
I won't play in it. I'm bad at sports games. Personally, I'm really bad at them. I picked up FIFA 14. Had Messi on the cover.
Gotcha.
And I tried playing it, and my friend Nathan, I tried playing it with him. He whooped my ass. My whole soccer team whooped my ass. We bust out Super Smash Brothers, whatever was out at the time. Right. I think it was Brawl.
Right.
And I whooped all their asses at it. And they're like, man, all right, we're not playing this. You beat all of us. And I'm like, yeah.
I think you want to know what's crazy is something about Dreamcast was different. As a kid, this was like the start of my downfall as a gamer. My friends used to love to play 007 and Twisted Metal. But I would get motion sickness easily. Like, if I played Twisted Metal too long, I would feel nauseous.
There was a hunting and fishing game I used to play on my GameCube.
No.
And every time you'd go fishing, I'd want to hold my breath because I'm underwater. I don't know why. It was just like that. I'm like, oh.
Right. You so into the game.
Yeah, forget. It's like, I'm the fish now. What's good?
Man, that's so funny. It's almost like our imagination was different from the kids now.
Oh, yeah. It's so innocent.
Right.
Like, watching kids play games. They're just playing it to have fun. Some of us are playing it for the story.
Right.
Play it to be good at it. And
right.
You said the one thing I'd remove from gaming nowadays is the toxicity online. Personally, that's what I want gone.
Yeah.
The toxic behaviors of people.
Oh, yeah. People are assholes, man. That's just the best way to put it. Sometimes people are too different to come together and do shit like that. Something as simple as playing a fucking video game. Makes you wonder. Like, I was watching the movie Pixel one day. You ever seen that?
I think I watched it.
Pixels?
I know it has Adam Sandler in it. I don't know if I watched the whole thing, though.
Right. Well, the beginning is him as a kid. He may be like 12, 13, something like that. And then there's this kid that's, we're not politically correct here, but he's a midget. You know what I'm saying? And he basically, like, he figures out a way to cheat. And I used to think, like, why would you want to cheat at that? Like, that's part of the fun. Just, figuring it out and learning how to be better. You know what I'm saying? I wonder why things are like that. Like, why people just take it so serious. Like, people cheat on spades. Like, Android spades. Like,
spades?
Right.
I haven't played spades because I never understood it. And
I'll teach you how to play.
Yeah.
But, like, people will get together, get on the same team, or talk over the phone or whatever. You can tell when they're cheating because they do stuff that just don't make sense. Like, if I go 0 and I'm supposed to get 0, and the first thing I do is throw out a damn king, it's because you told me you had the ace. Like, other than that, it would make no sense for me to, throw out a king. But people would cheat online and get together, and I'm like, dude, the money's not real. Part of the game is to figure out how to outsmart somebody. So what's the point?
I mean, that's poker in a nutshell.
Basically, yeah. Most card games are like that. It's funny. It's funny the transition too, from real actual cards to video games. It keeps you honest for the most part.
Yeah, and there's still video game card games too.
Yeah,
like Hearthstone.
Yeah. True.
It's got its own rules, its own cards that you can collect.
It's fun. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's free to play, but you can spend money on it if you want to. And there's no there's tournaments because it's a video game and it's popular. So people are gonna host tournaments for big money, and then they're gonna get money from people going to these events and shit like that. But I mean, it's amazing how all these free to play games are becoming so fucking expensive to get into.
Right. What do you think? What do you think is like the most addictive game ever?
The most addictive game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can play Tetris for fucking hours.
Yo, what is it about Tetris that's so damn addictive?
I don't know. It's the simplicity of it, probably.
I guess so.
I just love. I guess like the analytical part of my brain likes matching things together and thinking things through. Right. Like, because you can see all your your moves ahead of you, so you can plan around that.
Right.
And you can switch them up too. I don't know. I just love Tetris. I had the little handheld one. Yeah. And it would go do, 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 do. My dad, I'd be in the back seat playing that. You'd be like, "Turn the fucking sound off, Kyle." I'm like,
right. It almost becomes muscle memory after a while. Like you don't even think about it; you just know exactly where it goes.
Yeah.
And it takes no time. I was telling you the other day, I'm like, man, I had no idea Tetris was before Dr. Mario.
When you said that, I'm like, really?
Not now, but as a kid, I remember the first time seeing Tetris. I'm like, this is just like Dr. Mario. Are they stealing? Like, damn, I was stupid.
Nintendo not stealing things from other people? That can't happen.
Oh no, hell no, not in a million years.
It's Nintendo.
Yeah, they're the patriarchs of this gaming world.
I mean, they really are.
Atari would beg to differ.
I'd say, honestly, more people know who Mario is.
Mario
he's the mascot of gaming. Like, you could argue Pong's like up there, or Pong is up there. I will say that Pong is up there, and so is Mario.
Pac-Man was the mascot at one time.
Yep, Pac-Man, and then people kept playing Mario, and then they kept releasing Mario games.
It's funny that you say that because I remember at one time Mario was like considered the kiddie system. That's the kiddie game.
Yeah.
And Sonic was for like teenagers and grown-ups. Like, fuck Mario. He's slow. Sonic is fast and this, that, and the other.
And then you realize how fucking hard Mario can be.
Right. Then I think what changed all of that, like Mario was cruising for a while, like all the way up until Mario 3. Super Mario World really changed all of that to me. Because Mario World was just doing so much that Sonic couldn't do. And then right after that, well, not right after that, but then Mario 64 came and it was just like, all right. Where's Sonic? You know what I'm saying? At the time, Sega Saturn wasn't doing shit. Sega CD wasn't doing shit. And then, of course, you have Sonic Adventure, which
Dreamcast
was the shit to me.
One of the greatest games, considered to be one of the greatest games by a lot of people. Sonic Adventure came out of fucking nowhere.
Right.
Like, it was just failure after failure after failure, and they're like, fuck it, we're gonna put it in a 3D open world, go fucking nuts.
Right.
And then, look how fucking popular it is. It got a fucking sequel.
You want to know what I found out about that? They went back to their first designers. The dudes that did Sonic 2 and 1, they went back to them to do Sonic Adventure. That's why I think it worked. In between that, you had it was probably 7 or 8 titles. You had Sonic Pinball, all this other shit. And I just think they just went back to their fathers that created Sonic. I also found out what they want to do with it. Right. Also found out that Sonic was modeled after Michael Jackson. That was interesting.
Yeah, you told me that today, and I was kind of floored by it. And I'm like,
right, but it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
And then you talked about the lean, and I'm like,
the lean, the socks, the shoes, the skinny ass frame.
Yeah,
all of that.
I was thinking, I'm like, man, I guess that makes sense because when Sonic Idles in like 1 and 2 or 2 and 3, sorry, he does a little forward lean, and I'm like,
right.
You're right. He does do that.
He does that, and the music too.
Like, I never realized the music.
And the one that really got me was the Jam remake at the carnival scene. I think it was Sonic and Knuckles or Sonic 3. But like it literally has the same beat, it has the pause, it has the broken glass, everything from the Jam song. Like that's crazy. Craziness, man. Craziness. It's funny because I was also watching this documentary on Bleem. Remember that? B.L.E.E.M. Best little emulator ever. Some shit like that. But yeah, it was they fought Sony for years to get rights to be able to make emulators for different games and shit, like to bring Tekken over to Dreamcast and to bring, you know what I'm saying, these different games together. I just like, man, like just imagine like if it was all one console.
Like just one console to rule them all.
Right.
And that's kind of what we're heading towards now.
I think so too. I agree.
Because Xbox and Sony are in the talks of cross-network play. And
that'd be crazy.
They've been talking about it for years. And Sony brought it up to Microsoft first during the PS3, Xbox 360 era. And everybody was like, Microsoft's fucking stupid if they do this. Right. It's a bad move. That's just going to give the PS3 players more publicity, or PS3 more publicity.
Right.
And then PS4 dropped. PS4 is winning this console war, like with two hands tied behind their back.
Right.
And now Microsoft's like, let's do cross network play, and then Sony's like, oh, you finally want to?
Right.
And they're like, no. And then they're like, okay, we'll do it. They're like, nah, I'm playing. We'll work on it. And there's only a handful of games that are doing it, like Minecraft, and I think Fortnite's getting there.
Oh, man, we got to talk about Fortnite.
Yeah.
Great segue, Kyle.
That's not where I was going with that.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Look, disclaimer, I've never played Fortnite. I know nothing about Fortnite.
Don't.
I have no idea what it looks like on a screen. I know nothing about Fortnite. But all I hear is Fortnite. It's like at least once a week I hear somebody have a conversation about Fortnite. Yeah. What is the big deal about Fortnite?
It's replay factor.
Okay.
It's replayability. It's the same thing over and over again, but it's different outcomes each time. Think of...
That sounds interesting, though.
And that's why League of Legends was so popular, too. Because it was the same map, different characters.
Okay.
Each game. I guess there could be a game where you have the exact same characters 2 games in a row, but it was never going to be 3.
Right.
But,
fingerprint.
Fortnite, I mean, it's all a game of chance, too. Like, it's random spawns for guns. It's not like, oh, all the good guns are located here at Shifty Shafts. Or they're all located here. I don't know if I like the
sound of that.
Shifty Shafts, yeah, no.
No, I mean, just everything changing. Like, I like to memorize things and figure out what's...
I mean, there's better areas to get better loot, guaranteed, but they're also super contested over there's a place called Tilted Towers.
Okay.
And that's the hub of the game. Everybody makes memes about, oh yeah, boys, where we drop? We're dropping Tilted. And I'm like, no, you're not. No one drops Tilted willingly. Right. It's kind of a last-ditch effort thing. And I don't really like Fortnite. I think it's kind of overrated just because it's stealing the limelight from League, which was my popular game to play.
I just heard that it's free.
Yeah.
I just heard... Like, I was at the gym the other day and heard these two dudes talking about it. It was like, yeah, and it's free. I'm like, why the fuck is it free if it's that popular?
That's
but maybe that's why it's popular, because it's free.
Yeah. And there's all those microtransactions. Like, you can buy certain skins and certain dances and certain pickaxes. Yeah, it's a freemium game. And it's not even freemium. There's no benefit to the things you can buy. Your hitbox stays the same. But it's